Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001! Because between you and me, they're way past cool!
Hello out there, my friends. This is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a commission for Aidan. It is his Forces avatar, Fang the Wolf. Ah yes, it has been some time since I made a Forces avatar. I really do love the Forces avatar. Basically, it's just an OC generator, and it's an official-ish version of your fan character that will always be in a video game, and nobody can ever take that from you. Now, Aidan is one of those people that actually waited on the commission queue instead of sending me a base toy, so he actually gets some of the pieces of fodder that I've been holding in my collection for all this time. An upper torso from Tails, and a lower torso from a supersonic figure. This is actually very similar to the recipe that I used to make my own Forces avatar character. You know, because that just creates the look of wearing a big baggy t-shirt, and my character also goes with a big t-shirt. The rest of the parts were 3D printed. Once again, the 3D prints were provided by none other than Sacred Studios. Thank you very much. And I have had my 3D printer replaced. My cousin gave me his backup one, which was the exact same model, and I have already successfully printed some things, so I know it works. So next time you see me making a figure, it will have my own 3D printed parts. But I want to stress that Sacred Studios has been a big help during this time. Although there was one little issue. When he printed the wolf avatar's head, he printed it facing forward. I've gotten into the habit of printing my heads facing upwards. This has two effects. First of all is that it preserves details on the muzzle. When they print facing forwards instead of upwards, the support media leaves scars all over the muzzle and leaves me having to sculpt over it. And the second issue is that those lines that go through the head are very noticeable to the human eye when you look at it. I noticed that printing the heads vertically gets these lines on the sides of the head, so when you look at it from the front, it doesn't look quite so obviously 3D printed. It's just little things like that. I mean, I didn't really give Sacred Studios any specific instructions on this, so I don't blame him, but it's just that's how I've been making my 3D prints look better. I can barely stand to look at the Rouge figures I made with her head printed upright because all I can see are those transcript lines and makes it look like I'm looking at a deck of cards that has her face drawn on the side of it. You know, that thing. However, I didn't think it would be too big an issue with this one because the character has black fur and he'll be wearing a mask, so that basically will, both of those things will work to minimize the appearance of the vertical lines. Or I should say the horizontal lines messing up the verticality. Whatever. So yes, the head isn't just a head. I also hand sculpted the little headset thing. Although it always kind of drove me nuts how that thing is. That is supposed to look like a headset where you cover one ear and then you speak into a microphone. But the thing is, on a Mobian, that's not where the ear is. That's the cheek. Unless you have a monkey, there really aren't any animals that have ears on the sides of their heads aside from us humans. We are the only creatures that have ears on the sides of our heads. The primates I'm getting at. Well, almost all other mammals have ears on the top of their heads so they can swivel them around to hear easier. Okay, I could probably give this to bird characters, and forces didn't have them, but lizards do the same thing where they have their ears on the sides of their heads instead of the top of their heads like we do. But, you know, they didn't put any lizard characters in the game, and birds are the only animals that have their ears like this. And I find it very amusing. So, I'm guessing the audio goes through bone conduction, that's why it's on the cheek. I have heard of audio through bone conduction because it allows a transmitter to speak at a volume that's too low to be picked up by ears, so you don't have to worry about other people hearing your microphone or your headphone at least. But I don't know, it's always just been a little bit amusing to me. And well, I guess it's been long enough that I've been ranting. Okay, so there is a little bit of sculpting on this guy's body, mostly just to make the shoulders look like he's wearing sleeves and his little wolf tail. Aside from that, he's a paint job. Although, I did have a little bit of a hard time getting that supersonic lower torso to connect to Tails' upper torso. Turns out that the pegs weren't 100% compatible and they were a little wobbly, but I was able to enhance the peg by using crazy glue and craft foam to make it a little thicker, so it's snug in the shirt now, and the waist swivel still works just fine. Now, the funny thing is that this character has the boy versions of the shoes that SNT's character had for the SNT Forces custom. With SNT, I used Silver's boots with a little bit of sculpting to, keep them slim and feminine looking, but on Fang, they're just, actually 3D printed off the models. I'm not completely sure I got the scale right. I might have made them a tiny bit too big, but I couldn't exactly experiment because, like I said, Sacred Studios made this for me, and I didn't want to have to ask him to send me something else again, because he insisted that I not pay him anything, so he's been paying for the shipping and everything, and, I feel bad making him send me stuff over and over again. So, yes, I had to drill. I drilled into the boots deep enough that I could stick the legs in. They are deeper than just the ankle swivels because I used my own Fang character as a reference, so I figured as long as the hips line up, then it should be okay. And the gloves, you can see I had to add a little bit of sculpt to get those wire things on the backs of the hands, but aside from that, the 3D print came out pretty good for these. A lot better than the 3D printed hands that I make on my printer. And, well, that's the completed body. Everything is put together, and you have a wolf dude wearing his little Chaos Emerald shirt and army camouflage pants, along with, I feel like that glove has like a Pip-Boy on, like an LCD display on the wrist, like it's a kind of giant smartwatch. It's fun. And, but this isn't the end, because Fang the Wolf has like that persona mask thing going on. Is that the persona mask? I'm not sure if it's the one from the Joker costume, but it is a mask. And the only way that I could really think to make this was to cut it out of craft foam and then, hand paint it myself. Getting all those little details in was, not the easiest thing in the world, but, I have tiny paintbrushes and the patience to work them. And then I just kind of glued it onto the muzzle. Yes, unfortunately the mask isn't a removable accessory. The only way that I could have done that was to put a peg hole or an elastic band, and given the way that the character is made, neither of those would work. The little communicator headset would prevent the elastic band from working, and since it attaches to the front of his face, I can't use a peg hole because that would be a hole in his forehead. So yeah, it's just kind of stuck on there permanently. And I decided to take a picture of his OC next to my OC because a little bit of Forces OC solidarity. So thank you all for watching this video, and this is Wake Angel 2001 signing off.